What's up? What's up?
Jack, you wanna start?
Hey, Coach.
What's going
Just from this offense, it seems like a lot is put on slot guys. It seems like Marion definitely appreciates those guys. Just how excited does that make you as a coach?
Oh man, well, anytime you get to step out on this green grass, man, it's a great opportunity, right? And I want to take full advantage of that every time I step on the field. And the guys like that too, man. We got good guys in that room that accepts the challenge, and every time they step on the field, they take the opportunity and they want to go ahead. So it's extremely fun, man. It's extremely fun anytime that whether it's outside or inside, just to play the game of football that we love is extremely fun.
Adam?
Coach, how has your role kind of evolved since you joined Coach Prime here at CU?
Oh well, mostly, my role has always been the energetic guy. I'm very passionate in what I do, very energetic, breaking down defenses of the opposing teams, things like that. And now I'm stepping more into the role of really just more hands-on and developing these guys on the field, right? And also off the field too as well. We want them to be good athletes, but most importantly, we want them to be good young men when they get out into the real world. So I said,
Hey, Coach, Jake Schwanz, DNVR, good to see you. Just having LeJohntay a few years ago and obviously the value he brought to the team. When you look at, Cam and Danny, just the skill set that they bring, and also just how does the slot kind of open up this offense and maybe something that you guys didn't have last year?
well, I think Coach J. Phil said it first off, man. Speed, right? Speed is the name of the game that we have, right? We want to have a track team on the grass, and that's what we have right now. When you think about those guys like LeJontay and Jimmy right there, we feel that we went out and got the right guys, right? That can, take on that production that we did lose from them. When you're talking about a Danny and a Cam, and then you want to look into the same exact eyes of what you saw in Jimmy Horn and LeJontay Wester. So yeah.
Right.
Hey, Coach, Brian Howell, Bullet Daily Camera. As far as inside and outside, do you see your guys as interchangeable where there will be some of those bigger guys line up inside at times?
Most likely. I think you guys saw it a lot last year, right? With Joseph Williams, right? You saw Joseph Williams play some outside, and then we were also able to move him inside, right? Just being versatile, right? Be able to go out there. But the first thing is first, we don't limit you here. We put it on yourself, right? So them getting to know the playbook, right? So once you know all the positions, now it's easy for us as coaches to be able to plug you in anywhere on the field.
Hey, Coach Leo Rivera, BucksStampede.com. Talk about your learning process. When you get a new offense, how do you go about attacking that? And then what is the teaching process and like how trying to help your players too?
Oh, well, when you're talking about learning a new offense, man, you just want to make sure you put your guys in a good point to where you can simplify it for them, right? So we have installs that we do. We don't throw the full playbook at them. So we'll break it down by installs and just understanding the concepts. We want to understand the concepts with the plays, and then we'll get it from there. So just understanding installs piece by piece. And the guys they're putting the extra time in. I mean, it's almost every day you see guys like Danny and Cam. They're up here every day in our office. I mean, with me and Coach J. Field, they're up here working and learning the playbook. So they're buying into it.
One of the common sentiments that we've received from a lot of the guys is that maybe it's not necessarily complicated, but it's a lot different, the offense, than traditional offenses. How are they doing in the acclimation period?
Doing great. I think we're right where we want to be at the time period that we are right now in spring ball. They're actually they're exceeding expectations. I think for me and Coach J. Field in the receiving room right now, they're exceeding expectations. There's still room for opportunities, right, to get better, and we'll attack those. But right now, they're exceeding expectations.
This may sound like a stupid question, and possibly is, so I'm totally open to that. But is there a difference in preparing your scout team to run maybe like a traditional offense that you're going to see, and then you guys repping this stuff so much? Is there concern that like maybe we're not focused one or too much? How do you balance that? I guess.
No, I mean it's not. It's still football, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, we're playing football. We're lining up. We're playing football. Once we get into the scout team versus that, whatever the offense that they're imitating, they'll have cards for those guys and things like that, and they'll take care of itself. But as far as our offense, we're going to run the offense. I mean, either way you go, the offense is going to have some similar kind of concept in it, right? So, it'll be fine.
You spoke a little bit about versatility earlier. Can you touch on just how important a receiver's versatility is in the go-go offense?
It's very important. Like I think Coach J. Field, he was talking about as far as the type of routes and concepts we have, right? So it's very important just to get up there and understand and know what you're doing so you can know how to do it, right? You got to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, right? And why we do it. right? So I think it's very important. And those guys, like I said, they're exceeding expectations when it comes to that area.
Two more, Scott. Hey, Coach. Obviously, good. Coach J. Phil mentioned that. Obviously, you guys got a couple guys banged up right now, like JoJo, DeAndre, Hakeem as well. How do you just go about making sure that they kind of stay engaged, even though they can't participate on the field, and make sure they don't fall too far behind in terms of their install?
Well, that was one of the things when we went out in the portal. We wanted to bring a guy in that can symbolize leadership, right, and has done it before, and that's who we see as DeAndre, right. So he doesn't have to be told what to do, right. So he's always taking those extra steps of coming to me and Coach J. Phil like, Coach, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Right, and he's helping other groups, and you seeing Joseph Williams actually follow on in that same aspect, right? And Joseph's coming up every day. He's getting into his playbook now. He knows he can't be out there physically, but mentally we're getting those mental reps, right? So making sure we stay involved in the playbook, getting on the board with the guys, and then also helping those guys when they come off on the sideline, right, for a break, and just being that mental piece for them too as well.
I want to ask you about Coach Prime. There's been a lot of examples of him promoting from within and giving maybe younger coaches opportunities to move up in the ranks while they're here, and just challenging them more, things like that. What does that mean to you that he's willing to kind of let some younger coaches develop here?
Well, it means a lot. I've been with Coach Prime for a while. Kind of grew up with him, so he kind of played a big role in my life as a father figure for me growing up too as well. And I love what he does. Right, he's challenged us so much, so we're ready for this opportunity. We're ready. We're prepared. Right, so. Every coach on this staff, he's always applying pressure. He's always applying pressure to get you ready for the next step, right? If I'm a GA, if I'm a student assistant, if I'm an analyst, and I'm just want to sit there and play an analyst role, that's not okay with him, right? I need to be able to prepare myself to be for the next role that I want to be, right? So if I want to be a coordinator one day or offensive coordinator one day, then now I have to prepare myself like that. I need to act within that role right now, whatever role I'm in, to get to it.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
You want to start?
Sure. Hey, going on having another year in this offense with Julian Lewis, what have you seen kind of from his development and you guys' relationship there?
Really just a big development, off-season training, just working out with him, just getting a, real feel about like our, how we're going to go about things for the next season. And I really feel like our connection is building.
Cornell, just what are some of the things you're working on personally to develop your game this spring?
Really, I would say my route running, just getting open and getting separation from the DBs. That way, I'm able to do my thing while I'm on the field.
I was curious what your biggest takeaway was from your freshman season. Obviously, getting a chance to get out there a little bit, but maybe not as much as you wanted. Just kind of what did you take away from your first season of college ball?
Really just looking up to the older guys, seeing how, they went about things, the way they trained, the way they did things, like what time they woke up, what time they got to the facility, and really just reciprocating everything that they did.
Just wanted to ask you about Isaac and how he's been kind of getting acclimated, Isaac Wilson. And we've seen some videos, seems like guys are gravitating towards him too.
Yeah, Isaac has been, coming on well. Everybody has, just building connections and really just getting the feel for everybody that's in the room.
The other thing I want to ask you about the offense is it seems like at times, and certainly you just spent 1 year here, but creativity sometimes lacked in the offense. And that should be completely opposite this year. Is it fun? Like when you learn some of these concepts that they're showing you in the playbook, is it like, like you're pretty excited to implement some of that stuff?
Oh yeah, with Coach Marion's offense, we almost have like the whole nine. He gives us the leeway to get open. That's what our motto is, and his offense is very creative, and that's what I really love about it. And I feel like I could really shine in that offense.
Hey, Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. I'm just curious. So we talked to Coach Phillips. How is he challenging you to be better? Like what kind of things is he doing and talking to you about?
Sometimes, Coach Phil really gets on me real hard, but I really appreciate that because, I need somebody that's going to really dig in and get onto me and really just make me better at the end of the day.
How do you feel like you responded to that?
Oh, I've been responding to it well, just really just paying attention to everything that he says and really just soak it in and applying it on the field.
Hey, Quanah, Jake Schwanz from DMVR. Coach was talking about the leadership that obviously Cam, Danny, and also DeAndre brought in. Just what have you learned from those guys so far?
Really just like I said, just looking up to the older guys and just really just seeing what they do. And they play a big role in, how I come about my visit in Colorado. So really just learning from them and just soaking up what they do on the field.
Even with that, some of those guys are banged up, and it seems like there's a lot of opportunities for the guys that are healthy this spring. Just kind of how have you taken advantage of that so far with a couple weeks in the spring ball now?
I don't really look at it that way. I just look at it like as an opportunity just for me to get better and just get some more reps. And I feel like, just taking advantage of everything that I can and just making the most plays count.
Coach Prime talked a lot last season about things will change after the way that season was going. I know it's very early and we'll see what happens in the fall, but how have you seen things change?
Really, things really much have changed. This team is really just gelled the way that it really needs to be. And I feel like, we're going to really dominate next season.
What about Quentin Gibson? I mean, getting to come in with a guy in your class, the same position. What's your relationship with him like? And I'm sure that you're excited to see what he can do in this offense as well.
Yeah, me and Q were the two freshmen. So, that's really like my best friend. Me and him could relate a real lot, just taking in from all the older guys and really just, me and him just building up together and just learning everything.
And are you looking forward to seeing him kind of get involved here, what he can do with this?
Yes, I'm really excited for what Q really has in store for us.
Cornell, can you talk about your mentality during Ramadan, not being able to drink water at practice?
It's really brutal. I'll say at that, just not being able to drink water when we're going team tempo or I run a deep ball and I have to come back. It really just makes me want to look at the water and just really just, it's bad. But, you just got to be mentally tough and just have discipline.
All right,
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Once again, Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, the morning run right here live on the Pregame Network. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. Follow us on all social media sites and things of that nature. You just saw the wide receiver presser today. Coach Jason Phillips, Coach Rashad Davis, and also Cornell Farrakhan Jr. was on. And we also, y'all stay tuned for Prime Parents with Titus Bautista's dad, Juan Bautista. We also have coming up soon, the following week will be Nate Mitchell's dad. The following week after that will be Chauncey Gooden. And then also we have set up in the works Danny Scudero's mom and Cornell Farrakhan X's dad. So stay tuned for Prime Parents. We coming right at you, big dog. What's happening? What you take from that?
Well, let me start with Prime Parents, man. I got two words, Chico, and they're not to you, to the people.
To the people.
And stop playing. Stop playing with Prime Parents and act like Prime Parents ain't on hit, ain't bringing you stuff you can't get nowhere. Man, stop playing.
He ain't lying.
Shout out to Prime Parents, man. Every Tuesday night live. Season 3, already 3 in. You just heard the roll call of what's to come. If you ain't on Big Dog Chico Speed Hustle TV, subscribe, like, share it on Tuesday nights. What the hell you doing with your life? But, it's somehow, I know things get janky. We got stuff to do. Things happen. If you can't catch it live, then catch the replay on the Pregame Network. Then you really ain't got no excuse because you had a live opportunity and a replay opportunity, but then you want to act like, hey, what are your information? You can get it from the people who've birthed these people and raised them.
Right. No matter what else you might have seen an interview with them, it ain't the same. It's official.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you something.
Prime Parent. You understand me?
No, let me tell you something. I was talking to JoJo this morning.
Oh, now JoJo.
Shout out JoJo. Y'all can come to me for information about JoJo. I've known him 2 years. They done known him 20. We're like, what are we doing? He's like,
exactly, man. Appreciate that, man. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to Prime Parents on both channels. Subscribe right now, Big Dog Chico and the Pregame Network.